Okay, so now I want to take you to the next level. First, let's start the classes from the PPT, then we'll go ahead. Okay, so let's start module 2. Okay, so what is the agenda of the today's class is that like learn the SQL statement overview like DDL and DML. Key DDL statements like create, alter, drop, truncate, and key DML statement is insert, select, update, and delete. Examples using library database or examples using e-commerce database, we are going to learn about the things. So the learning outcomes will be understand the difference between DDL and DML, use create to define tables, alter to modify, drop to delete, and truncate to clear the data. Perform data operations using like insert, select, update, and delete. Apply constants like primary key and not null. Okay. So what I am trying to say here is that like these are the basic things you should know. And once we learn the basic things, we have the queries that we are going to do the practice according to the interview perspective. But without, if we jump to those queries right now, you will not able to catch the things. And that's why I want to take it from the basics. Okay. So database concepts introduction. In this presentation we are exploring different type of data models, mapping data to tables, defining relationship between tables and primary and foreign keys. Okay, so relational models and its advantages. So now like before we were used to say that like I am creating Oracle table, SQL table, but nowadays the new terms has come in the industry. There's a data modeling. So whether you do anything, whether you create a new table or whether you create a define anything or update anything, you are working on data modeling. That is what the terminology is there. Okay. So so logical database independence. What the advantages of logical data independence, physical data independence, simple structure using tables, and clear organization using rows and columns. Okay. So entity relationship model, like you already know, AR diagram that you like key concepts in this that represent database as a collection of entities. Entities are independent objects, persons, place, or things, and attributes describe entities. AR diagrams use rectangles, entities, and or like some rows and columns, and the attributes also. Okay. So we will see how the entity diagram is in actual. What do you mean by logical schema and what do you mean by physical schema? We'll understand. Okay, mapping entities to table. Like entities become tables, attribute becomes columns, row contains data values. Example, book entity with column title, edition, year, and ISBN. So what it's explaining that how a table is containing rows and columns and how that table is becoming a single entity. Okay. So common data types we use is char, fixed length characters, varchar, variable length characters, integer, whole numbers, and decimal numbers with the decimal points, date and time stamps. So these are the data types that you must know about because these are the data type that you are going to use when you are designing the data models. When you are designing first time the data models. Okay. So primary and foreign keys, like what primary key unique, what is a primary key? Uniquely identifies each row in a table, prevents data duplication. Foreign key refers to the primary key of another table, links tables together. We are already designing the e-commerce database, and in the e-commerce database, we already create a table: customers, orders, suppliers and shippers, all these tables. So after this PPT will go to there, and yesterday those who joined the class I asked them to design the same database by themselves. So I don't know, today they are not here, only one guy joined, so I don't know what is the progress from them. Okay. But the objective is that like we are going to design the database, a very basic database. We are going to design how to create a table, how to define primary key, how to define foreign key, and how to insert the data, and then how to use the basic operations in the database like select star or select count, select distinct records, limit the records. Like I have like 1,000 records in my table, I want to see 10 records. Then how you use limit operation, how you use distinct operation. There are so many basic operations that you need to learn, because these are the basic building blocks of any SQL query. So if you know them, then you are better to, like, you are in a position to use them better. Okay. So conclusion, like summary, the relational model ensures data independence. AI model helps design relational databases. Entities and attributes map to tables and columns. Primary and foreign key maintain data integrity. Okay. So type of SQL statements. So in SQL statements are used to interact with tables, columns, and rows in a relational database. They are divided into two categories: data definition language and data manipulation language, DDL and DML. There are other type of statement, data control language, and other things that we will learn later. But these are the main two types. Okay. So data definition language, DDL is used to define, change, or drop database objects such as tables. So when you are trying to like creating a table, then the language comes in data definition. You are defining a table structure. It comes under the data definition. Okay. Common DDL statements like create tables and define columns, alter, modify tables, add or drop columns, and change the data types, truncate, delete data from a table without deleting the table, and drop, delete entire table. Sometimes in the interview, people ask what is the difference between delete and drop. What is the difference between truncate and delete? So delete the data from the table, but the table is there. But when you are when you delete the data, when you use the drop command, then it drops the complete entire tables with the data. Okay, data manipulation language. DML is used to read and modify data in tables, also known as CRUD operation, create, read, and update. Common DML statements: insert, select, update, and delete. Okay, the summary of the SQL statements: data definition language defines or change database objects. Data manipulation language manipulates data within the tables. And so, okay, now create table statement. So the create table statement used to create a new table in a relational database. It defines table name, column names, and data types. Optional constraints such as primary key and not null. Okay, so no table should be without the primary key, because your data integrity must be there. Okay, syntax of creating a table, like you can easily will check it. Okay, so we don't need to go through the uh, okay, so alter, drop, and truncate tables. In this section, we will explore like alter table, modify the structure of an existing table. I want to add a new column, or I want to drop a new column, or existing column, or anything, whatever the alter drop like you want to do. You create a table, you create a table, you insert the data and then drop it. These kind of things we are like, so the alter table statement changes the structure of a table, because it is the physical structure we are changing, because we are deleting the attributes, or either we are deleting the columns. Okay, so it can add columns, remove columns, modify column data types, or add or remove keys and constraints. Okay, that is the alter tables. So very simple example, like alter table name action. So common actions includes add column, column name, data type, modify column name, data type, drop column, column name. Okay, these are the little bit the small. So add a telephone number column, alter, like it is giving the example that how if you want to add a telephone number in a table. So let's say alter table author, add column telephone number big int. So you are modifying you can drop the table, truncate the table. So I want to take you to the database now. Okay. So the database is that yesterday we created customer. 。  . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . We created a table. Okay. We created a table customer. So create a table customers, customer ID, customer contact name. Primary key auto incremented varchar 255 characters not null and contact number can be null. Address is text, city is varchar and postcode and country. This is a DDL statement that we did. Okay. Then this is a DML statement. What we are doing, we are inserting almost like 91 customers in our record. Okay, so this I could share yesterday itself, but I asked people to do by themselves, but nobody is today here. Okay, so let's go to the so once you create the once you use that you can see we have a customer table, employees table, order table. So similarly, you need to create all the tables, but you need to know the order of the table so that you can. Because you need to implement foreign key and reference key constraints. So if you don't know the order of the operations, that which table is dependent on which, because that is what we call the database design. And database design must be a database should be in a consistent state. The mapping should be properly created. Otherwise, that database is not a good database if you don't design that. So let's say my customer is connected with orders, but my order is connected with my suppliers and shippers. Okay, so I created first the customer table, so there is no foreign key constraint. Okay, I created a table called table customer ID, and I say I want to go to the MySQL and say let's select star from customers. Okay, it will give you me all the records. Okay, there are basic queries that you can do like select count if you want to check that how many customers are there in my table, how many records are there, then there are 91 records. Okay, select a star, like this is what like simple I yesterday we learned. So limit 10, it will give you the 10 records. I need distinct country names, so select distinct country. So here the select. This is what simple we learn. But yesterday what we did is what the important part we did. We started designing the database. So the database we are designing from the W school W3 schools.com. For the time being, we are for the learning purpose we are using this. But when once you learn the complete course, I will give you the complete problem definition to design the new database. Okay, so here we have customer table, category table, employee table, order details, order, product, shippers, and suppliers. So this is a complete database that we want to replicate so that we can use the like you don't need you create your database in your own system. So either you do work like either you use MySQL, either you use Postgres SQL. There is no data dependency as long as you are working. But if you are like, I would recommend to use the same database so that like we don't have any problem. Okay. So I really recommend that to you have a same data type. So yesterday we created the like customer table and select star from employees table, employees table. So what employees table and select star from customer sorry order table, order table, and select star from suppliers. Okay. And there was supplier and what was the other table? Suppliers and shippers. So this database, this is the data that we created yesterday. What the table like? Shippers. Okay. So these the tables. Now let's say I like what you can click the table here and you can check uh, like you can write a query describe suppliers and it will give you the what. Okay, it doesn't work, I think here. Describe. I hope this works here. So in Oracle describe works. I don't know here what does it work. So you can check the table definition. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we want to create this complete database. We already created customers, we already created employees, orders, shippers, and suppliers. Now I want to create the table product. So I just want to create this the with the database, and I also ask everyone to do it by yourself. Don't depend on me to give the code. Just take the data and everything from the chat GPT. You like you just need to be aware of the things. Okay. So I'm just going to create a new table for products and I am going to run this query. Okay. And if you see here, I want to save this products dot SQL because I want to use it for a later. Okay, I can share with you guys. So if you see here, I say show tables. The tables will be in your records. Product table is now. I want to insert the same database from the because I want to use basic operation from this database itself. Okay, this is a practice that we want to do it. That's it. So you can create an insert statement here. That is how we designed yesterday. So that's the reason I asked that like it's you check. See now the we have technology to like learn lot of things very fast. So you don't need to do manual writing and everything. Okay. So we created a product table and let's say category. What does it have? Category ID, category name, and so the product are based on some categories. Like they are divided in the categories. Okay, so we'll create the tables also category. Let's use the insert statement. So there are almost 77 products. So you see here, let me see, you have the mapping here, category ID. You will not able to insert the records because there is a primary foreign key reference. So now if you are, I don't know, like let me check the tables. Foreign key category ID is int. Oh no, 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 that we created the wrong table. Uh, okay, let it create. So what we are doing here now, we are altering the table. Okay. So when you do the work, there are like anytime you can do any kind of operation. Okay. It is not that I want to do it. So I am just altering. Let me add this. So what it is saying. So FK supplier alter table products at constant FK supplier foreign key supplier ID reference suppliers. Now it is giving me the table product already exists. So I say let's drop the table. Drop table products. Okay, commit. Okay, and I want to use the original here because it is giving me no already table already exists. So I am going to create the table again and adding the constraint itself. Okay, what now it is game failed to open the reference table category. Now I cannot create a table because the category table is not because I am referring a table which does not exist in my database. So first, what will I do? I will create my database tables for categories. Okay, so I will create a tables for category. So these are very basic things you might have done, but we want to learn from the basic things and we'll go to the advanced level. So that like there is no like there is no what would I say that we must not say that there is any mismatch or there is a gap in the learning. Okay, so I want to create a new table category, and in the category I want to save this. So whenever you do work in your like you also create your own repositories and you try to do everything project try to run there. Now we created the table. Now let's go and create that product table. So if you create a product table now it will not give any error because we already have the tables existing now the suppliers table and the category table. Okay. So now let's go and insert the data. So we want to okay. Even we try to insert the data. Let's do it because I want to make the mistake so that you should know how we are going to face the problem if you are trying to do some wrong things in your queries. So if I am trying to do it, it will not allow me to insert the records because category ID does not exist. Okay, what will it will say? So that like your error code cannot add a update child row foreign key constraint fails e-commerce product constraint product fk2. So the constraint fails. The reason why the constraint is failing because you don't have the you create a table for categories but you did not insert the data in that categories. So let us insert the data first. uh, So by doing this approach, you can design any database, but the you should always keep in mind the integrity constraint, the referential constraint, and the ACID properties of a database must be very keep you should keep in mind. Okay, so now I inserted the category data. If you can check, you can select star from category. Okay, you have data now. Now you are going to use the insert statement. Now, because you already have the data available for the parent key, then select star from products. Then you can check the data now. Okay. So what tables we already created is that we created all the customer categories, employees, order, product, shippers, and suppliers. Now there is only one category order details table that we did not create it. Okay. So we need to create this table, and we need to insert the table. Then our database will be completed. Okay. So let's create this table. This is a very simple database that we are trying to replicate, and then we will. Uh, so in this database, like you can do a lots of practice. This is a very basic database, but you can do a lots of practice on this database. Okay. So in this table, you can see order details. I have a order ID reference and a product ID reference. So if the order table doesn't exist, then you will not able to add the order IDs. If the product it doesn't exist, then you cannot add the product ID here. Okay. So assume that if you are creating first time this table, then you will not able to add these tables. Okay. So let's go to the new SQL. So let me save it first. Okay. And I'm trying to create the table. So you can see the table is created, and I need to, the records are very much. So we need to take 100 records, I think, to insert from it. Okay. See, you can write the code only like what the basic thing that you should know what you are doing. That's it. There is like you don't sit and like try to write the code by manual. There is no need to do it. Okay. But the only thing is that like whatever you are doing, that you should know what you are doing. That is the main thing here. Okay. So we are trying to insert the first 100 records in the in the order details table, and the record will be inserted properly. Then let's go to the next 100 records. Okay. This is the data. That's why I want to like get proper data so that we can do the basic queries on this database on our own database. Okay. Let's see what is happening. We are inserting next 100 records. Oh, what happened? Why it's not being added? Why? 10285 is already added. Modern literary order ID. Not new constraint. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know why we are not able to add this. There, 185 and 186 and 10. Okay, you need to give the data again, proper data. So let me give you. So this is what we need to do. You can prepare the database for yourself. Okay. I just want to add 200 records and then if needed, I will add it. But
Uh, Rajesh, I think what if you can retry the insert method again? Uh, because I saw the third solution was again to reinsert the same thing.
No, no. So reinserting is not a problem here because the record can be inserted twice because it is a foreign key. So why I'm saying is one order can have multiple records, no? Okay. Like you can create because there is a let's say in one order you have 10 products, then your order ID must be repeated twice, no? Because there are order ID and the product ID. Let's say order ID is 10285, then the product ID is 40, 53, 35. You see that? Okay. So this is the order ID. 10825 is an order ID and the product ID is 10285 is 40. This is order ID and this is the product ID. So your order ID is sharing, repeating, and your product ID is unique, like that. So, Mahendra, did you try to create the database yesterday?
Bro, I haven't started that yet, but I'm thinking to
Uh,
do that
like,
in Visual Studio. I'm thinking to do it.
why Visual Studio? Like,
I'm thinking to create all the state. It can be run in Visual Studio as well, right? The SQL.
you should use this MySQL database, no? Because Visual Studio is for writing the code and everything, no? Like it is like this is a clear queries. So you try to do what I'm trying to do is, and don't wait for other day, man. Like I don't understand this thing because why you are not doing the things on the same day? You are like I think I don't know what is happening here. Cannot add or update a child or foreign key constraint fails because I don't know. Let we have to check the data. What data is there? ChatGPT inserting some random records or what? Okay. So what I'm saying is, so now if you go here and if you just, like we already have our database, there is no issue with that. Every table, like we already created all the tables, all the data we inserted with the proper foreign key. You know how we can face the problems if you don't add proper foreign keys and if you try to insert the wrong statement in the data, then it is going to create a lots of problem. So what I can do is I don't want to give this because this is a very simple task and I don't want to give this. So I want you to guys to work on this first. Of if you don't want to work, then I can share. I don't have any problem. See, the point is here that it's not me to whom whether I should do or not. I know already things. I don't need to do it. I'm doing for you guys, and it is your responsibility. If you want to learn the things, then you need to do it. Otherwise, you will not able to do it. The complex things like if I say give you a big database to design it, you are not going. It will not going to happen by you guys. This is a very simple task. So I think I can expect this from you guys. And if you are not able to do it by alone, then you work as a team members because you are everyone is in the team. So you work as a team and try to do the things. Okay, Worship,
Okay, bro.
Jenny,
Yeah,
Mahendra.
bro.
Okay, so try
All
to
right.
do it by yourself.